All right, welcome to our channel, and my name is Jay, and today we're going to be discussing, a new series that's going to cut down just to the very specific details of how to get you guys through the system. That means starting at the application process, working yourself forward to the wait list, all the way to the end to where you're actually doing the primary application and then getting a voucher, the process after that, and the many branching issues that come along as you have a voucher, like portability, accommodations, living aids. There's a lot of issues we'll be covering, and so this series will potentially run just about a year. All videos should range about 8 minutes. And if you want to look at me or see me speak, you'll see a small circular window at the bottom right of your phone or on your desktop computer for good viewing, okay? So let's get on here. This is our main website for my company. As you can see, we have a little bit there, and this information and linkage will be in the bottom of all of our videos. And then I want to bring you also to our next page. Now, for now, it's a basic white page I've thrown up on Weebly, and that's to help interconnect all these videos we're going to be doing, and it's something that you guys need to save. So that linkage is Section 8 Consulting Info, INFO, at Weebly.com. You can see it up here. And also, we'll include that link below in the video. And what'll happen here is we'll progress, and you'll see the different steps we're taking through the eligibility applications, and as we go forward, and you'll be able to go back. We'll also link up the videos for each subject matter, and in some cases, when we cover one or two topics, it'll still be the same video, but just linked twice. Okay. So first thing first, I sat down and I thought carefully. If I was a person that never understood Section 8 and I wanted to get involved and get housing or get a discount, what would really be the first step? What would be the absolute first? And actually, it took me a couple of days to think about that, because there's many approaches, right? The most intelligible way, in my opinion, would be first qualifying you by income. That would be the first step. Do I make too little or too much income? So in step one here, as you can see on this Weebly page that I've created for you guys, it gives you some very basic directions, and then we're going to click on a link together. Now we're going to arrive at HUD.gov's website, or HUD user. Income limits are going to matter, and so we're going to scroll down a bit, and you guys see right here where I'm circling with my mouse, you'll see 2025. We'll give that a click. And then we'll see this other one that says click here for FY 2025 documentation system. Let's give that a click. I only want you guys to do that. Don't navigate in other places of the website because you'll get lost, okay? So to make things quick and easy to understand, we're going to go to Alabama. Since it's easy to get, you give it one click, and then it changes the page, and you'll arrive here and you'll select your county. We're just going to pick a random county, Bibb County, Alabama. And we're going to view the county calculations. The only thing you guys need to understand is what's important here is what they consider very low income, extremely low income, and then just baseline low income. Okay? If you're making $33,600, you qualify as a single person. So if you're going to live by yourself and you have an income of $33,600, you would be considered very low income, and that means you would get the highest voucher amount. Second to that, you got extreme low income, which is the lowest tier, and I don't even understand why they have it in the middle like that, but this would be the lowest tier. And if you're there and you're a single person, have 20,150 as an income or less, then you would probably get the highest voucher amount. The very low income above it, the 33,600, that would be a second range where you're kind of middle income, and then the last being the low income range of 80%. And so when you're making that high of an income at 53,700 or less, then your voucher won't be worth as much. So this is a logical deduction. If you're extreme low income and you're making $20,000 less, you're probably going to get a voucher that pays most of the housing for you. For those that are very low income, 33,600, you're going to get something a little bit in the middle. And then, of course, those that are 53,700 or lower is going to get less of a payment. Now, do keep in mind, when we look at incomes, that is the first standard you need to consider. Many people contact my office and say, hey, Jay, look, why aren't they asking about disability, homelessness, domestic violence? Because the first thing we need to consider is whether or not you even qualify, period, for the first step in the process. And this would be that step, okay? Now, we're going to go back real quick to my website. And as you can see up here, section 8 consulting at .weebly.com. And we're going to expand this page and do more with it. But this is going to help us organize everything, because I don't really want to organize this on our main business website, okay? So, as you can see here, we've got a company email. We have booking software where you can book an appointment if you have questions that you're unable to get or figure out for yourself. And then our simplified step-by-step guide. So in the second part of this, you'll see that we have the eligibility video. Now that's just going to be this video. We'll link that up, of course, and it'll be one video for both subject matters. Then we move on to number 2, applications. Now, do understand, I want to talk about applications, but it doesn't mean I want you guys to go out there and do applications. Why? Because I need to give you more information in the next couple of videos before you start making decisions about applications. But at least for now, let's discover how the quickest and most legitimate way to go out, find your application, and do it when the time's appropriate. So as you can see here, we go through the little paragraph where I give information. I'm going to bring it to HUD.gov again. We're going to land on our main page. Do keep in mind, guys, if you're on a computer, a phone, or TV screen, it's always going to look different. But for the sake of our video, we're going to get on the map here, okay? Clicking on these sometimes work. You can click on the states. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So I recommend clicking on the actual map. I'm going to select Texas. Now, what you get here are verified real housing authorities. But the one thing it does lack is their website, okay? So this will help you in one way. This will speed it up when you need to actually figure out where that housing authority is. I recommend using the phone number, copy and paste, okay? So we do a quick search, and it brings you right to the Abilene Housing Authority. So we know this is the real housing authority. Your only one goal on the website when you're getting ready and considering applying, and you know that you meet the income requirement, is you're going to have to navigate. Every housing authority in America has their own different website. So you're looking for words like voucher, HCB program, apply online. You're looking for anything that says application, okay? And so we get very lucky on this website. They put it right in front of our face. So we'll click on apply. Now here, it'll tell you a little bit of information. Let me also lend a bit of advice with housing authorities. If the housing authority is willing to let you submit an application through their website, that's fantastic. If the housing authority wants you to go print out their application and send it in the mail, you're probably wasting your time, okay? So I'm going to advise you stick with housing authorities that already have a set up website. When you start mailing out your personal information out to housing authorities, that's one thing, but just be very careful with that, okay? The reason we want to go back here real quick to this main site where HUD's own website indicates the housing authorities, and find your housing authority by phone number or address this way. Well, Google and its scammers, the people that make websites, have a lot more money than housing authorities, and they often will try to duplicate websites of the housing authority. Now, one thing they'll never want to duplicate is the phone number or the address, and the reason is because it's going to bring you back to the real housing authority. So I recommend you take this path in order to be able to at least find the housing authority, navigate the website till you find the word apply. And for a lot of you, take the extra second. If you don't see the words apply, you'll usually see a little window you can type in. Just type in the word application or apply, and it should bring you to the correct page. And then from there, you're kind of determining whether or not you're able to, if they have an open waiting list that you can apply for, or whether or not they're closed. And many housing authorities may be closed, while many more may be open. And so, as I close up this video, what I encourage you to do is first make sure you have a link to our primary Weebly website. Get your linkage also to my company in case you need our assistance. You can book appointments there. And next time, we're going to talk about a little bit more about the application process. We're going to talk about waiting lists, and we're going to talk about preferences. One of the probably top 3 videos I'm going to make in preferences, because preferences determine whether or not we have 10 people in a room and 10 people are going to apply. Each person has preferences. In other words, things that are going on in their life that would make them either more preferred or less preferred on a waiting list. If you have certain preferences, you're going to be considered of higher importance You guys ask all the time, how do I get to the top of the waiting list? Well, it's rather easy. If you have the right preferences, you have the right things going on that qualify you, then you're going to be considered higher up. But we're going to get further into that. So until then, guys, my name is Jay, and I am with Section8Consulting.com. I own that company. If you're struggling and you're navigating the system, dealing with housing authorities or even bad landlords, or have other simple or short questions, you can reach out to our office by appointment only, and we can discuss it. We offer inexpensive appointments. And for those of you that may not have the time or even the wisdom to be able to navigate the system successfully, or maybe you've not been able to yield a result that's been favorable for yourself over the last couple of years, you may want to look into casework through our office where we handle that for you. Till then, we will see you in a couple of days with our next pre-recorded video, and we're going to discuss waiting lists, preferences, and a little bit more about the application process. I've enjoyed having everybody here today and hope to see you again. Bye-bye for now.